like, I don't feel good pot. It's like so good until you smoke too much. And Sweet Francisco during the Netflix is a Joke Festival smoked too much. And he did what we've all done at some point and greened out. And I don't know if you guys have ever done this before where you kind of faint out. But he got caught midair by me, Woody Harrelson, and some of Fiona Cawley's wheelchair. And Woody, who I'm guessing has done this perhaps tens of thousands of times because it has to happen around him a lot, absolutely was the first thing that Francisco saw when he came back to and opened his eyes. And it's just Woody Harrelson right in your face going, it's all right, buddy. Yeah. You're going to be good. You're good, pal. Just breathe. Come on. We got you, buddy.
All I hear was like, Woody's here, buddy. Woody's here. And I'm like, what the fuck's happening? Am I in a movie? What the fuck?
And in real time, I'm like, this is the highlight of anybody's Netflix is a Joke festival, like getting too high with Woody Harrelson.
Did he do like the wobbly, like I'm about, or did he just fall down? Like what happened?
I just fucking passed out and
No, he did what everybody does, and I've done this many times. It's been a while, but Bat used to do it way back in the day. You try to escape because you don't want anybody to see you kind of not feeling good.
I want to come out. I need to get some fresh air.
Even
I was outside.
we were outside, exactly. And that's always how it is. It's always like, I just have to go to another area. That's going to make me feel better. And he was walking fast. It's impossible to describe, but God, I wish I could paint the picture because there were so many people and there's like this much space to get through. And Francisco was jogging kind of through people for this great escape. And then he made it like right here. Woody's right there. And Fiona's wheelchair is right there. And just kind of, and we all like caught him. What was my point? I don't remember. It's just an epic story because Francisco and I, when you started the Comedy Store 19 years ago, you don't think you're going to have fucking, you're going to have
to do a breathing exercise. He was like, come on, buddy, just inhale. 1, 2, 3. I was like, what the fuck?
We did it all. Miles Johnson, I find you to be so fucking funny. I'm going to do something special here that I don't think I've ever done before. And I'm going to award you a panel position on an upcoming episode of the show. I think it's time that the little baby boy is all grown up. We could sit here and jam an episode, and you'll be on the whole goddamn show.
And I'd love to have you on the Secret Show Thursday if you want to be on the Secret Show Thursday.
The Secret Show as well. Amazing. A wild success. Truly, that's the future right there. Miles Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Hell yeah, brother. You're the man. One more time for Miles, everybody. I'm telling you, he has so many fucking great jokes like that pedophile one, but the pedophile one was the one that I fell in love with. I would just be gay if I wanted a horse cock.
He's my favorite kind of comic, like silly, goofy.
Oh,
he's great.
He's so good. Takes his time, fucking feels the crowd, always different. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to the end of the show, and if you guys are fans of the modern era of Kill Tony, you will know that our current undisputed, undefeated, most powerful regular is just on the other side of that curtain. He is an anomaly. His fucking writing, delivery, everything, absolutely incredible. I'm just a super fan. I get to sit back and be a fan for a minute every single week that I bring this guy out. Make some noise for a brand new minute from The Real Deal. This is Pat O'Neill, ladies and gentlemen.
Other night I was out on a date with this girl, told me she was wearing a butt plug. I was like, that ain't stopping me. Nice try. Sloppy top, are we familiar with that term? All right, well, if you're not, it's when a girl gives you a blowjob and she's retarded. And getting a blowjob from a girl with braces can be dangerous. So make sure she's old enough. One time I hooked up with a girl so big, one plan B wasn't enough. get her Plan B Plus, which is just a hoagie with fentanyl in it. Okay. Thank you.
Oh my God. Good Lord Almighty.
Folks,
Wow. Incredible.
thank you, Tony. That guy knows my name.
Yes. It is indeed Pat O'Neill.
Scary.
Yeah. You've been getting that a lot? You got people yelling at you on the streets yet?
Yeah, I had one fucker waving to me at the window at a stoplight, which I found very...
Yeah.
That was the most annoying. No.
Yeah. Gets scary out there sometimes.
Yeah.
Imagine what it's like for them to see you.
I know, God. Look away, I say.
Incredible. Derek.
The joke writing's next level, Pat. That was so fun. But I gotta say, I was a little triggered with the hoagie fentanyl because your boy could fall for that.
Yeah.
You know, that sounds like something that would happen to me. But great stuff, man.
Thank you.
So good, man. Like, I love also the...
Oh, yeah.
Whatever that is.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about with that.
No, don't act like you don't have a little Beetlejuice.
Look, you're
going
doing it now.
I don't know what he's talking about.
So fucking funny. Pat, what's been going on in life?
Working on a podcast, getting some wildly mixed reviews, but I am working on it.
Yeah. They will. You can't really. You have to make it for you, not for them. That's my advice.
I agree. Yeah.
So what are you doing on this pod? Tell us about it. What's the plan?
I don't know. I'm doing,
Is it called Pod O'Neill? What's it called?
It's called Ray Guitards.
What?
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 Yeah. But I agree. Do it for you, Tony. Yes, that's what I'm doing.
I literally don't know.
I'll take your advice.
Ray Key Tard?
Guitards.
Say it again, all together.
Ray Guitards. I don't know what that lady's talking about, but...
Got it. Ray Guitards. Yes, that's actually brilliant. Now that I've deciphered it, I think it's great marketing.
It's something.
And is there something that how do you do this pod? Is it just you interviewing your friends, or what is it?
There's another great comedian here who works another great doorman, Grant Adcock, and then some other fucking guy.
Grant's the shit.
Yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah. They're all very funny people, I think. Whoever the other guy is might be funny too. Is it a third guy?
Yeah.
Perfect. And how many episodes have you done?
Like 6. Got 4 of them out.
Got it. And when you say reviews, what are you talking about?
They want video, but I don't want people looking at my face, and you know what I mean? What I talk about is my business, and my opinions don't represent Kill Tony or the show.
You don't think people would want to see your face?
Yeah,
Your
that's your face.
hilarious face? The trademark, iconic, unbelievable that it's real? Pat O'Neill's
Well, thank
face?
you, Tony. Maybe I'll rethink it.
Well, what about $5 a month you get to see your shoes? $10 you get to see your face?
Yeah. We'll incorporate some feet pics.
Hell yeah. I can't imagine what those feet must look like. Oddly hairy toes, I'm imagining.
yeah.
That's what I picture. Well, that's fun, Pat. Starting a pod. Ray Guitards.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I get it now. What else, Pat? Anything else crazy going on in life?
I've got some Hollywood folks doing some shows for me, so I'll fucking finally be leaving Austin and doing some shows in the near future for
So you're gonna
fine folks out there.
go visit Hollywood?
Tour this great country of ours.
Absolutely. Now's the time to do it. You are on fire. You are on top of it all. I mean, if I was, no matter where I was, I would make a long drive to see you.
He's actually coming to San Diego with me next.
Fuck yeah, San Diego with Red Band.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yep. I'm taking you with me to a giant venue in Toronto this week.
Yeah. This won't come out, so no spoilers. I'm going to be with Tony, too, in Toronto.
Yeah. It's going to be
It's gonna
great.
be a lot of folks.
Yeah. A lot of folks.
Speaking of Toronto, do you have a girlfriend?
Wait, what?
Well, based on my set, I clearly, I get around, you know?
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had one that you came home to after the night ended.
Yeah.
You do?
The one with the butt plug.
Oh, okay. I thought that was just a date. I didn't know that
Yes.
was a permanent situation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I just learned that. What a wild relationship.
Yeah.
Just going to Chili's, she's already got one plugged in. I like that. That's a different triple dipper. You know?
Pat O'Neill, you're just an absolute icon, dude. I fucking love you. You are what it's all about.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
He's the man. Pat O'Neill, ladies and gentlemen. And we did it. You guys have fucking fun tonight or what? One more time for Derek Stroop, Nostalgic on Netflix. An unbelievable debut appearance here on Kill Tony as a guest. One more time for the great Francisco Ramos. The legend, my boy, my brother. We started together.
I do feel like
continuous days of sobriety, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, a year, all good stuff.
Right.
All good stuff.
Right.
However, that cannot be the sole measurement of progress, because for many guys, myself included, they're not going to get it right away, right? It's going to be a journey. And if you keep kind of having to relapse and you go down this massive shame spiral that you're failing, that you're a failure, you give up. So recovery is about becoming emotionally regulated, socially connected, learning to live with honor and integrity so that you don't need porn anymore. That can take time. Recovery is about building a life you don't need to escape from. That can take time. And so for many guys, especially single guys, right, where there's not external leverage or consequences on you, right? A married guy, he's really in trouble with his relationship. He's got to get sober or the marriage is at risk.
Right.
That's one dynamic. But now you got a single guy right now. What is the motivation for him right now to continue on this work? You got to keep that person inspired and motivated to continue to do the work. And guess what? If the best that you can do is watch 80 to 90% less porn in any given month, great job. Great job. As long as that is conjunction with you developing new habits to take better care of yourself physically, spiritually, and emotionally, right? Recovery is the ability to sustain abstinence will be a byproduct of you taking better care of yourself physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
Yeah, it's a 3-sided deal.
100%. So guys quit too early. Like, where you going? We just got started. And so why not also measure consistency of going to the gym, consistency of making social plans, consistency of learning a new hobby?
Keeping your word.
Dude,
Taking care of yourself.
Let's measure that stuff in
Right.
addition to your sober day count.
Yeah, there's a lot of other factors that start to gauge, like that you can use to self-gauge as well, and that are super important. But also, a lot of those factors are things that it's also just like, you know, it's getting up, it's being active. I want to take care of myself physically. You know, I want to meditate. I want to have a relationship with a higher power. I want to like nurture this gift, this thing that I am, right? And there's this other, it's such a Pandora's box, porn is, because it's like, here's this thing, and it's just, it's tricked. It's like just a finely calculated molecule of the devil, really, you know? And so when sometimes people are like, man, we're not at war, there's not a lot going on. But if we're sitting here losing a battle a lot of times. So I do think there is this inspirational element sometimes where I'll feel like if I want a war, there's one every single day for me against the dark arts, against the things that want to drag me down, you know, against the things that are literally are finessed to take away the essence of me, right? The essence of me, man. And so it's like there's a battle right now, I think, for a lot of that, and a lot of us don't realize. Well, and we can get kind of like lullabied into the comfort of it. You don't think it's a big deal. You're looking at it once or twice, right? But then you like, I would notice for myself, if I was doing jerking off or whatever, something like that, the next day I'd feel a little bit kind of bad about myself. or I'd be shorter with people. If I looked at pornography, it made me look at dates and stuff. It just made me like I had a little bit of shame inside of me. You don't even realize that sometimes it's like you don't think it's on the forefront of you or that it's affecting like the look in your eyes or anything. But there's a little bit of that in there. You know, it kind of like colors your coffee a little bit. It's like but it's not the best color. You know, does any of this stuff make sense that I'm saying?
you bring
Sorry, I'm
up-
kind of rambling.
No,
but
no, no. I want to.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah, you did a good job with it. A few things that come to mind.
man.
Number one, you talked about the rig system. And so I read this. I shared this with you on the phone a few weeks ago. I read this stat that said that the dopamine spike is from the anticipation of watching the next video and not the video you're actually watching. Wow. So the addiction is to the scroll. And like dopamine, I might butcher this, but I think that's what it said. Dopamine is not the pleasure chemical, it's the motivation chemical. It's the chemical of pursuit. What's next? So social media is rigged this way. Pornography is rigged this way. You know, back in the day, you know, getting access to porn was going to some creepy video store.
Yeah.
Going behind a curtain that said adult only, or beads, those beads that would hang down. You obviously know. And all of a sudden to get this VHS in a brown paper bag, put it underneath your arm, and do the walk of shame home.
Yeah.
Right? But you go watch that VHS, you know, for 15 minutes, do whatever, and go about your day. That's not what modern day porn abuse looks like. It's infinite novelty, where you're constantly scrolling for sexual imagery, hours at a time. This is a whole new beast.
Yeah, it says it right here. Industry analytics and search engine studies estimate that pornographic content accounts for roughly 20% of all internet searches on mobile devices. That's astronomical. This is notably higher than desktop search rates, which generally clock in around 13%. The primary driver of this higher mobile percentage is the privacy, portability, and convenience that smartphones provide. Because of this, studies from major adult entertainment networks indicate the vast majority of adult content is accessed via a cell phone. Yeah, I read the other day that Pornhub, which is banned here in Tennessee, I do want to say that.
Is that right?
You have to have an ID.
That's correct.
And that's how that thing that they have, I think it's the Tennessee Minors Act. Is that what it is?
Delivery for Kaka? 5-star salut.
The Protect Tennessee Minors Act is a state law mandating that commercial websites and digital platforms containing a substantial portion of content harmful to minors implement reasonable age verification methods. So you have to enter your ID.
That's good stuff.
That's a huge thing because it makes you take some accountability. Okay, well, is this something that I'm willing to say I do? Right? Is this something I'm willing to put my name, my height, my date of? Am I really? You know what I'm saying? Am I willing to go that far with it? I love that. I love that. Like, there's been times where I've wanted to go look at stuff, and that stopped me right there.
Great.
Yeah. So I do find that is helpful because it I don't want to put myself in there really. Like I want to look at it as like this guy in the distance, right?
Have they seen fake IDs spiking right now? Because people want.
That's a great question.
Good business, perhaps.
Yeah. Around 7 to 11% of men self-report experiencing problematic pornography use or feeling addicted. I mean, that's unbelievable, man.
And it's just not porn, right? You look at the content that's on X, you look at the content that's on Instagram, Facebook Reels, right? That sexualized content can have the same effect on the brain as watching pornography. And so it's an issue. And so we live in a really tricky time right now because it's everywhere.
It's unbelievable that it exists. It is unbelievable that we allow it as well. You know, that we allow it.
Well, there's also a societal thing with guys. Like that's what guys do, right? It's cool watching porn. And I'll tell you the truth, it ain't so cool.
Well,
right?
guys don't do it together. Guys watch a game together. I've never had a guy be like, "Hey, man, I'm having a couple of the guys over."
To watch some porn.
Yeah.
The thing that's really interesting to me is here's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So many men who abuse pornography, right? It affects their sexual performance. It affects how they show up in relationships, and it builds shame. Right. So many men struggle with sexual performance. That's not a new thing. But what is new, and I think quite concerning, is how many of those men are under the age of 40. They turn to Cialis, Viagra, testosterone replacement therapy, thinking that something's wrong with them physically. When the truth is, and the reality is their sexual dysfunction is probably caused by all the porn they're consuming. So heavy porn use can rewire the brain. And even my own story.
Is it true?
Heavy porn use can rewire the brain and cause all types of problems in the bedroom. Like even in my own story, right? I had difficulty getting and maintaining an erection during sex, especially with a partner. I had difficulty orgasming towards the end of my run with pornography. I had difficulty maintaining an erection, and I needed porn stimulation to stay aroused. And heavy porn use can absolutely lead to premature ejaculation. You know, one of the things I didn't share in my story, which is important to talk about, right? Because there's probably a bunch of your listeners right now listening, waiting for someone to tell the damn truth. You know, when I first started consuming porn early in my life, before that relationship, I struggled with premature ejaculation. And I had so much shame and embarrassment around it. I got to a point where I'd rather not be with a woman than be with a woman and have that type of sexual performance.
You feel like you were just so nervous about sex? I mean, it makes sense. Sex is a nervous thing
Well, I'll tell you a few things I
for
didn't
a youngster.
I didn't realize a few things.
For the children, sex is nervous for the children, you know? It's a nervous thing.
For adults.
Yeah.
And so what I didn't realize at that time was that all the porn that I was consuming and the way that I was actually masturbating kind of conditioned my brain to orgasm quickly, and that carried over to real life scenarios. I didn't realize at that time that the intense porn that I was watching so overstimulated my brain, leading to early orgasm. So my porn use was tied to shame and secrecy, which fueled kind of anxiety around sex, making it kind of uncomfortable. And you know, porn was the cause of this.
Yeah.
So that's one area, men. Not so manly when you think about, hey, you know, is it really that cool?
Right.
Second challenge that guys tend to have, it can totally affect how guys show up in relationships.
Oh, yeah, dude. Watching, like touching your body or whatever, jerking off or whatever, it was like, it just made it easier than having to go and try with women and having to go and have a relationship. It made it all just easier. And if you came from like for me, there was so much, it was so uncomfortable that I was like, I mean, I guess I had a choice, but it just was too much of a easy alternative. It was like, I don't know, like, you know, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so like, just have so low self-worth, so many little things. They're like, man, I can't go ask this girl out or do, you know. So it became this little thing. And then this was the part that I was going to get that you made me think about. Sorry. Everything about sex felt like a secret, right? Like it was always like when I was growing up, we would go in the woods and see the tits or whatever chiseled in the wood or whatever, or you would sneak into
Is that still around, you think?
I'm sure it's been. No, I think they had weevils or whatever got it.
Damn weevils.
I think it was that. I can't remember exactly. I have to look it up.
Okay.
But or it could have been one of those new ticks that Bill Gates unleashed or whatever. But so whatever, I'm sure it's gone these days.
All right.
Or it's really,
Yeah.
it's eroded to an A cup, you know, for sure.
And what's the point to visit it then, right? Come on.
At the time, those things
That's
were.
right.
Oh,
And then making a road trip for an A cup.
dude, they had a woodpecker would land on one of them. That's big.
Pretty nice.
But dude, the biggest thing when I think about, like, it was just like everything was sex when I was young became like secretive. It became like secretive because, yeah, if you were looking at pornography, she was doing masturbation, he was sneaking off and doing it. So everything became secretive. So then like everything, like even when like dating, I never want anybody to know I was very secretive about stuff. So it always had all this like a little bit of extra like kind of taboo around it, I think. I don't even know what that means, but it was just like, you know, when things are in secret, it's you know, things in secret can be kind of uncomfortable. Things you're always trying to hide can be kind of uncomfortable.
That's right. And I think also that secrecy can lead to shame.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you're always, if something's in secret, you're always worried somebody's gonna find out about
That's
it.
right.
And I didn't have any positive relationship with sex, or no I didn't have any nobody told me nothing about it. It was just like your body you change, and then you're like dealing with it. And
I'm still waiting to get the birds and beats conversation from Dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They should just have a decent man that travels around the country, helping just have the birds and the bees conversation.
Like a temporary rent-a dad to have the conversation with you when you're like 12.
Yeah, just like some wiener Santa or whatever he travels around, he pulls up, you know what I'm saying? Do it outside where it's in view of, where the Lord can see it. But anyway, you were going into a second part about how it affects relationships. And dude, I even remember if I'd been doing touching myself or whatever, or jerking off or whatever like that, then I would you're right when you said it's like it changed the amount of intimacy. Now it's like if my girl and I are going somewhere, maybe I wouldn't touch her elbow, or you know what I'm saying, or like give her a pinch, or like, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't create that energy. So a lot of that energy disappears. And that's the thing I think that we don't realize a lot. It's that little that yin and yang, that whole thing that keeps nature and society and really the future, because of procreation, which keeps it all in balance, is this kind of tension, right? A romantic kind of samba between her aura and mine, and pornography weakens that. And then you're right, people take into their head, a woman will take in her head oh, something's wrong with me, or he thinks I'm not this way, or I can't do these things.
Yeah.
Which is, you know what I'm saying? So it's a tough cycle. And I think a lot of it does fall on us men, because we got to be stronger, I'm not saying that I'm great at it or anything, but I do think that...
Five-star Soyu.
DoorDash.
Somebody's got to come to the rescue of us, and I think it has to be us.
Well, no one's coming to rescue us, right? You got to take accountability in your own life. But I think you really eloquently kind of laid out the dynamics that porn abuse can have in relationships.
Did I really?
You really did. That was really well said. And,
Well, I feel bad about some of the... I feel like, dang, I wasted a couple relationships. I wasted somebody's time, and I wasted, and I didn't even know it. But yeah, some of that.
You know it now. In a way, you learn and grow.
Yeah.
And, you often see when men abuse porn over time, they can lose attraction for their partners because they can't compete with porn. I mean, how unfair is that?
Yes.
Right? There could be less desire for romance. I'll say it again. Pornography abuse burns off the nerve endings of sensuality in relationships. Less touching, holding, kissing, caressing. So if I'm watching porn, maybe I don't notice the waves in my wife's hair. If I'm watching porn, we hold hands less, perhaps. So pornography abuse can deaden the vibrancy of our partners, our wives, and our marriages. I mean, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, well, it dims the way you feel. For me, it dims the way I feel. I'm waking up. My first thought sometimes is, if I look at pornography the day before, it's oh man, I wish I hadn't done that. I think I can not do it. It's like you're always in this war. You put you always in this battlefield.
It's like being hooked up to an IV drip of shame. And for none of us, right? We're not talking about the casual use. We're talking about the compulsive use. And the other thing you tend to see over time, the guys that end up abusing pornography, porn and masturbation just become the preferred sexual outlet. And shame and secrecy and guilt become the norm. And because of that shame, so many guys, especially our young guys, are not dating. They've given up on dating. They're not actually having physical sex. I read a stat not too long ago that 1 out of 3 men under the age of 30 have not had sex in the last year.
1 out of 3 men?
1 out of 3 men under the age of 30 have not had sex in the last year.
But some of those men could be 10 years old or whatever.
I would imagine, I didn't look at the fine print of the thing. I would imagine it probably told me age 18 to 30.
Oh, they should say that then.
They should probably, yeah, good point.
Because, yeah, if it's like this 5-year-old has an tell you're like, yeah, I hope not.
Yeah, we don't fact check this right now.
Anyway, recent data from the General Social Survey indicates that nearly 1/4 of young adults aged 18 to 29 reported having no sex in the past year, looking specifically at younger single men under 30. The rate of sexlessness can climb closer to 1/3. And then, bro, you know what happens? I think when you start to like, when you dim the men in a culture, anything can come in there.
Sure.
It's like when you dim the warriors who are standing at the gate, anything can slip in there. You know, and then they come in and now they got the women on OnlyFans because they're not in a relationship and there's not like a provider and there's not like a leader and you're not part of like we're doing this together, right? And then like everything's for sale. It's like, what's for sale now, you know? And I don't mean that. It's not none of that's negativity at anybody. It's just like, you know, it's just like I don't know. And do I sound judgmental? I'm just kind of looking at it. I think it all makes me just like, I don't know. I feel like we're stronger than this. We are in a war.
Well, I think what you're highlighting, and what I'm hearing you say is so many of our young men in particular, they lack confidence in themselves. They're full of shame, right? They don't have they can't handle rejection. But the world needs healthy, strong men. And pornography abuse is emasculating our men today.
That's what I'm saying.
That was definitely the case for me. 100%. But here's the deal. And I need your listeners to hear this right now.
Yeah, amen. Because I don't want to get stuck in the dour parts of it and that things are not healable because that's not the truth.
That's not the truth. The truth is, it is time to reclaim your damn manhood.
Type shit.
You know, seriously.
No, I feel you.
Enough is enough.
Right.
Enough is enough right now. There's a cesspool out there that are killing our men today. So I'm going to tell you, in my own journey, when I got the right type of help, I was able to work through these sexual dysfunction. When I got the right type of help, I was able to be in a healthy relationship where I felt good about myself as a partner, as a man. So it's not just like Steve stops watching porn and everything fixes itself.
Right.
Don't work that way.
Right.
It's a process of retraining your brain, your body, and your relationship to intimacy.
Amen. What were some of the first, like the initial moments? Was there kind of like a day or a time in a rehab? Because you went to some different, is it okay to say that you went to some different rehabs?
Yeah, I went to all of them.
You did? Boy, dude, Steve was a animal out there in the part. Like his old partying stories are great, bro.
That's right.
You have some great ones.
You know when,
and I'm not talking just I'm not talking sexual. I'm talking like just your AA partying stories. And sometimes we tell those war stories because it keeps you out of the battle.
100%. And you got to laugh at them now.
Oh, dude, if I go to an AA meeting and I laugh with my friends about like times where we used to do stupid stuff or something ridiculous,
that's right.
The feeling I get laughing with friends, I leave out of there. I don't want to drink. I don't want to use. I don't want to do anything harmful to myself because I've just felt connection, and that gives me something that I'm supposed to have.
So, like, you ever see like on maybe Theo Von or the Red Hot Chili Peppers go on tour, they have T-shirts that list all the cities they visited?
Yeah.
I did that with rehabs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, come on, dude. And so...
Yeah, what was your tour called? Do you have a tour?
I don't have a name for it. Maybe you could help me out with that. And so, you know, it's just the journey's the journey, man. And so, once again, it's you know, it's about perseverance and not giving up. But I'll tell you some things that are interesting that when I was able to get the right type of help as it relates to my porn addiction, I was able to stabilize my arousal.
Stabilize your arousal?
Arousal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me what that means when you say that.
You know, I was pornography abuse so distorted my view of life. Pornography abuse had me in a constant place of euphoric recall and fantasy, right? And so I had to learn how to not rely on that kind of dopamine fueled kind of energy to deal with life. I had to learn how to build sensation for sexual experiences, to be present in sexual experiences. So when I got into recovery, dude, my sex life was so enjoyable, right? I learned how to kind of make love and connection and kissing and sensuality, all kind of beautiful stuff. When you get into recovery, oftentimes you have better erections and more satisfying sex.
That's what I want. I want that super erection.
That's it. And you hear all the time when guys get into recovery and sustained recovery, it's so much more enjoyable. They're present for it. They're not full of shame. There's a confidence that comes from it.
Yeah, that's what I want that wiener that's like plays the game. Like, I feel like my wiener's like a designated hitter. Like, it'll get up to the plate. It's kind of like, but it knows it's not going to be out in the field. It's just like showing up for the frickin',
Ohtani's a DH sometimes.
Ohtani is?
Yes. So.
Well, what are you trying to say? I got a small wiener?
I wanted to say that. I'm not sure what I was saying with that. Although he hits a lot of home runs. So.
Hey, there we go. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We might take that part out, which is fine. So you're saying like you noticed that? Like, do you remember like a first experience where you kind of noticed something small that you were like, oh wow, these things that I'm doing in recovery are working? And then what were some of the things that you were doing in recovery?
Well, I did a bunch in recovery, right? And so I did a lot of therapy. I was really active in 12-step recovery. I was, I had my own personal coaches that were really helpful. And I'll tell you, I believe that recovery is a team sport. I think men need other men to become better men.
Amen.
I think men need vulnerability role models. Men need love and support. Men need around other men that have similar life experiences around sex to transcend the shame that's keeping our lives small.
Praise God, bro.
I think that's really, really important. I think men heal best in community as it relates to sexual compulsivity. And so...
Yeah, it's so hard to heal in shame by yourself, bro.
You can't. I don't think you can.
I know, man.
I don't think you can.
It's tough for people, huh?
Yeah. So I think, in conjunction with that, so many men today are so isolated and so lonely. And so that's the driver of some of these behaviors. So once again, the roadmap to healing has to lay the groundwork for connection and community. Mm-hmm. And so where you practice kind of being part of something bigger than yourself, you practice honesty, you practice vulnerability. It gets modeled to you. Really important for men to see other men living this way.
Like in recovery circles and stuff?
100%.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, sometimes, man, I'll be in a meeting and it's like some guy will say something. My friend James Bashara, he always tells me, he says, we are the keys to each other's locks. That's what he says.
That's sweet.
It's one of the best things, man. I think about it every single day, It's like something that gives me hope, I think, a lot of times. Yeah, because it's like somebody will say something, man, that like something inside of me has been trying to say my whole life, and I just couldn't put the right few words together. Mm-hmm. It doesn't even have to be a big, huge words or fancy words. Sometimes it's just a simple thing, but somebody will say it. And a part of me will exhale that's been waiting to exhale for so long.
How sweet is that?
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing, man. So, yeah, I can't iterate how much recovery and the community, right?
Yeah.
And then the fact that, like, dude, sometimes, like, I'll notice, like, especially these days, we get so caught up in our own worlds. But it almost feels like a gift when I think about when somebody else comes into my mind or heart. Like, there's times where I purposely sit down, I want to think about people and stuff. But if I'm just like...
Oh, here you go.
And they propose to their partners by giving them
DoorDash.
I'll be like, oh, I just saw them the other day, and they mentioned this. Let me call and check in about it. Or just something that's like, if it's about somebody else, bruh, that's like when that happens naturally in my head, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. And it's just because of community. But it only happens if I go to those meetings, if I'm interacting with guys.
That's right.
If I'm a part of community, right?
And you need guys in your life like, okay, Theo, enough with the show. What's really going on?
Right.
You need guys like that.
Oh, dude, to tell somebody that, bro, I'm fucking... Yeah, like this, I was in a meeting this morning, man. Let me think about what I said if I'm really honest, right? I got into a meeting. A lot of times I'll do a Zoom in the mornings. You and I go to one that's similar. Is that okay to say?
Please.
And I'll be in the gym. I'll work out while I'm in there, so I'll listen because it helps me get 2 things done. It makes me feel pretty like I'm doing something. And what I say today, I'm trying to keep some negative things out of my head, so I'm staying focused. I'm staying on a path. Like I'm staying active, because if I stay active, I stand a better chance when those things come into my head. And I was trying to be honest to guys, like, hey, these are some of the things that I've been thinking about. I know that these things grow if I don't share about them at this level of being a seed. I know it'll grow into a cactus that I don't want inside of me. So I have to share it at a seed, right? I had to learn a lot of times. I freaking joke with a lot of cactuses but learning to share something at a seed level.
Calling it out early.
Calling it out early, yes.
Yeah.
And then just said like, I'm so sick of myself. I feel like I'm the only person that I have. And that was like, and I know it's not true, but to share, even if it's a feeling, right? Because once I share this feeling, I know it's not true. I have a lot of friends. I have people that love me. But sometimes I have to share what the feeling is, right? So it doesn't, because that feeling sometimes can grow. If I don't share it, it sits in there, you know? Anyway, does that make any sense?
It's so interesting as you're sharing. I'm just thinking about this concept of like recovery is about this journey towards healthy masculinity. And when you think about like the word masculinity often gets conflated with toxicity today, which I think is kind of unfair.
Oh, it's unfair, and I think it's by design.
That's right. Masculinity to me is what you just talked about. Honesty, integrity, vulnerability, courage, being a protector, being a provider, being a great friend, showing up for others, and living a life that's bigger than just yours.
Yeah.
And so when you think about like this journey of recovery, this journey of becoming a healthy man, what a beautiful journey it is, right? You think about like, porn abuse teaches us and trains us to objectify and disrespect women. I think healthy masculinity is about humanizing women. Women are beautiful and amazing.
Yeah, and we came from a woman. Like, I wonder what the effects are. See if you can find something about this. What are the effects of pornography on young men's relationship with their mothers, of watching pornography? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you start, because it's like, I do notice when I'm healthy and I'm taking care of myself, I'm able to view the women in my life differently, right? And I'm able to view them how they should be viewed. Hey, I'm telling you this right now, that Shopify is hands down the best place to start and grow a business these days. If you're trying to start your own thing, you need to know them. We use them. They've helped us put a store together and have it adjust. Manscaped.com. Or if you need it today, you can just go find Manscaped at a store near you. I think a lot of guys are in hiding. I think a lot of us are afraid to say that we know that we're in a war and everybody's going and fighting behind closed doors. And that's kind of crazy. When you think about that, that's kind of...
Scary.
It's scary.
Scary.
Right?
Scary.
And is there a way to win it that way? I don't know.
Well, I could tell you from the life I live today, I don't feel like I'm in a war, I have a life that's kind of rooted in love.
Bro, you've changed so much since I met you, man.
Yeah, I have.
You give me hope for the life I could live, man.
That's right. And,
you really do.
I'm glad.
You do. And you were always everybody's favorite. You said earlier that people cared about you, or like there was always somebody like your family is always, you were like the guy in the meetings, dude. It was like, because we went to meetings that had like some fancy people in them.
Real fancy. Some tall people, too.
Oh, yeah. Tall guys, all types of...
One tall guy, anyway.
Yeah. A couple of real grade A perverts, right? The creme de la creme, right?
That's right.
But, bro, we got in those rooms, and here's the thing. We laughed in there. People were honest. We laughed. But, yeah, you were always... It was like, dude, I wish I could be friends with Steve.
That's sweet.
It was the truth,
Thank
bro.
you. And you just made it... It's so important to laugh in recovery.
Oh, dude. You got to realize this shit. it is people laugh so much. It's not just this dour thing.
No, because this stuff is dark. It's heavy, and dude, laughing at each other. I think laughter is so good for the soul, man. You read the news right now, it's so heavy. You listen to the news, it's so heavy. Finding a place to be lighthearted, to have fun, and to laugh is so healing.
Oh. Yeah, man.
You know how many guys I struggle with that I talk to and work with that are struggling? And if I can get them on the phone, I can get them to laugh.
Amen.
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It just takes it from a 9 out of a 10 to a 6 out of a 10. You know?
Yes.
And it's just so important to let the air out of the balloon with laughter.
What are the things? How do guys not realize?
Oh, here you go.
And they propose to their partners by giving them
DoorDash.
Okay, here, Trevin found something right here. I'm gonna interject real quick here to go back because I've never thought about that before. Does it affect the way I look at my sister, my mother, women in my life and world? Could be your teacher, anyone, if you're consuming pornography. How porn-shaped beliefs affect views of mothers. This article explains that frequent exposure to pornography reinforces rigid gender norms and the objectification of women, or where women are seen primarily as sexual objects rather than full, complex people. Yeah. As these attitudes become part of a teenage boy's belief system, he may begin to see women, including his mother, through a more dehumanized, stereotyped lens, weakening genuine mutual respect.
And I'll tell you, the challenge today with what you just read is so many men today started watching porn when they're 10, 11, 12 years old. Right? That was like the part of a generation where the iPhone just came out. And so they had access to porn at this very early stage of their life. And so by the time you get to work with them in treatment or therapy, and you hear about like their childhood, they've had pretty normal childhood. Normal, right? Not a lot of trauma, as we would understand trauma. The trauma is the porn that they started watching at 10 years old. And it's just kind of intense porn. You know how many guys you hear like 10, 11, 12 years old watching rape porn?
Oh.
I mean, how painful is that when you think about that?
Well, yeah, you have to know. Oh, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And you have to know that these companies, and I'm not setting myself apart from anybody. Like, I've been down these roads, you know? But you have to know that these companies, this is strategy by them. This is, I believe, I don't think that the people that work in porn or sex work or anything like that, I don't have any ill thoughts or any of that towards anybody like that that's involved in it. I just think en masse that they don't have the best, these companies don't have the best interest for us, right? Like a lot of the pornography now, it's like mother, son, grandmother, son, you know.
Like you can't unsee that.
Right, right. And it's also makes you think, it's like, well, these are the most important relationships in the world. Boss, secretary, you know, or just like whatever it is, sisters. You know, it's like they're taking the most valuable relationships that have been given to us by our creator and by the world and even by science, and they're trying to manipulate those that they don't have any value to us other than some sexual perversion.
And if you're 12, 13, 14 years old consuming this stuff,
yeah,
how are you supposed to process that?
Yeah, and just even seeing the words while you're looking at pornography, you see the word mother, son, father, dog. It's all a strategy. The devil is at work. I believe that, you know, it's the dark arts. And I'm not saying that I don't wade through the waters of them, and you know, but that's one thing you said. It's like we continue to fight. We don't give up, you know, and you learn so much along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we keep moving, I want to ask you too, Steve, what are there things that could be happening that mothers or fathers might not see, that how their use of pornography or like checking out like that, sexually checking out of like their environment, you know, their use of watching pornography could be affecting things with their interactions with their children or their home life?
Yeah, totally. it's so interesting as a
Because sometimes you don't correlate that.
no, you don't.
You know what I'm saying? You just
100%.
think, man, my marriage isn't working, but separately I'm watching porn.
That's right. And so when you think about the idea of healthy masculinity, being in recovery, and being a father, right? And so I'm a new father right now, and my son's young. He's about a year right now, but the responsibility I have in modeling to him how you treat a woman, really important, right? The kindness that I show his wife, getting to see affection, touch, all that stuff is really important. I don't, I know your story from your childhood. My story from my childhood. That wasn't necessarily modeled to us. And so, if you're watching pornography, right, and as a result of that, it's distorting your view of women, can be challenging, right? You think maybe they don't know. Trust me, they know. They may not know you're watching porn, but that energy you have, that you can't hide that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of shame. It's a little bit of I'm keeping something secret.
That's right.
It's a little bit of something's wrong, and it's a little bit of I'm scared somebody's going to figure this out, and I don't even know what it is.
Well, you know what happens too, also, guys that abuse porn, right? They're just not present for their lives.
Yeah.
They're not showing up for their kids, right? They're on their phones. They're consumed in fantasy. They're not present. They're missing life.
Yeah.
You're missing life. And so when you guys get into recovery, dude, you see this all the time. They start coaching flag football teams and loving it. They're able to show up in their lives and be present. They're better fathers. They're better husbands. They're emotionally regulated.
Yeah, they're not involved. It's almost like porn is like it's like your wiener playing video games.
That's
It's
interesting.
not real. If you walked into a room every day and your wiener was playing a video game, at some point you'd be like,
Oh, here you go.
Life, and they propose to their partners by giving them
DoorDash.
turn it off and get the fuck up and go outside. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd want your mate.
Depends on what video game.
That's a good point. That's true. If it's Castlevania or something, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. That's one thing I noticed in meetings that I've been in when people share, and people start to get better. They start to say, "Man, like today, I had the desire to spend time with my kids, to engage, to go outside and do this with my daughter, to like flirt with my wife in the kitchen. Like I walk in the house and there's a look on my face that I'm excited to see this person that loves me. Just little things like that I've heard guys share in meetings that are like, that just let me know that that recovery's real, you know?
And the joy of living.
Yeah, what have you seen recovery look like for people? Like, what are some testimonials that you've experienced in the rooms?
Yeah.
And even through Valor? You know?
And so lots of good stuff. Let me think of a few good ones that might be. Well, I'll share a story. One of our first clients, 62-year-old man, been abusing porn for about 40 years, and long time, you know. And by the time he got to Valor, he was 6 years sober in Alcoholics Anonymous, but he was in so much pain. He had not been divorced for 10 years, had not had sex in 10 years, and was so full of shame. And when I first met with him, you know, I was trying to like get some goals. Like, what do you want to try to accomplish here? And I said, I want to stop watching porn. I said, awesome. We're going to help you do that. What else? Tell me what to play with. And he just couldn't get there. Just make something up. Tell me a long-term goal. If you had like a genie in a bottle, you had a wish, give me something. I'll never forget what he said. He said, you know something, Steve? For as long as I can remember now, on Sundays I go grocery shopping by myself. And I see family shopping and couple shopping, and it's so lonely. He goes, one day, I'd like to go shopping with a girl I'm dating. I said, okay. And like 8 months later, that guy sent me this shot of him and his girlfriend grocery shopping. And it broke me. And I remember telling my wife this story and just crying. And she's like, what's coming up for you? And she can't really understand because two things. I know that pain of loneliness. And I know how good it feels to be free of it.
Wow.
Great story. Love that story. On what's on offer here.
That's what's on offer here, huh?
Yeah, the joys of living, finding love. Another great story. You hear this with consistency. You know, I get a phone call with a guy that's maybe sober 6-9 months. This one guy in particular, and he says, Steve, you know, last night I was on the couch staring at my wife, and it's like I'm seeing her for the first time, and I can't believe how pretty she is.
Wow.
Like, to me, hearing that brings me so much joy. When you kind of, that fog lifts, that porn-induced, shame-based fog lifts, and you can actually see life in color versus black and white. What a gift, you know?
Yeah, man.
And then you see guys that get time. This is what drives me wild. They get time, they get 6 months, 9 months, a year away from pornography, and wild stuff starts happening. They go back to grad school. They launch a new business. They get a big raise. Like, what the hell's that got to do with you not watching porn?
Yeah.
The answer's everything. Because what's happening now is you're transcending the shame that's keeping your life small. You always hear, like, a guy all of a sudden, guy lacks confidence in himself. He's so full of shame, lives a double life. He walks into a restaurant, can never actually make eye contact with that woman at the bar. He maybe looks over, puts his head down, and walks to his table. He's now 9 months sober, right? He makes eye contact, walks over, and introduces himself.
Yeah.
And they're now engaged.
Let's go.
These are the stories of recovery. Didn't mention anything about not watching porn. Not watching porn is just the point of entry. Learning how to live a life that you don't need to escape from is what recovery is all about. Recovery is about learning how to experience the joys of love and connection. So one simple question I tell guys all the time, it's real simple. It's real simple. Is your porn use bringing you closer to or further away from the man you want to be? And if you don't like the answer to that question, what are you willing to do about it?
I've had my eye on the Calden sectional and the Neo upholstered bed from the second I saw them. They're so delicious and warm. They elevate a space instantly.
Just $19.98 for this reclining sofa love and the swivel glider recliner free. Both pieces, one price, and the $700 swivel glider recliner free. The Freedom Event at
Yeah. Yeah, it's I've been in a lot of the meetings where I've seen guys share about stuff, and you've seen a guy have a new experience, you know?
It's the best.
When does a lot of this is there a time that you notice how and when a lot of this starts for a lot of guys, Steve? Have you been able to put together any theories about that?
Younger and younger, you know, because you've talked a lot about Valor on your podcast, we have seen a lot of younger men in their 20s. When I first started Valor, I thought I would work with guys like me, older professional men that are dealing with a porn addiction, sexual compulsivity, and need to get help. And we've worked with a fair amount of that. But we because of your fan base, there are a lot of single men in their 20s. And challenging dynamic because they're not married, they're not in a relationship, there's no external consequences, and they've been doing this for like 10, 15 years.
Right.
And so it's like, you know, they've been in full-blown addiction for over a decade, and they're 22 years old.
They don't even realize it.
Don't even realize it.
That's the craziest part.
Wild. Wild.
It's just like a regular habit. It's like taking a melatonin.
100%. It's just part of their life.
Yeah.
It has rewired and conditioned their brain, and they're full of so much shame, and they lack such confidence in themselves. So breaking them free of porn, it's interesting. How do you motivate and inspire a guy like that to stay on this journey? How do you create motivation in their life to continue on this path, even though their path can be choppy at times?
Yes.
You know, how do you get that guy to continue to show up and not be in shame if he watches a little bit of porn? Right? That guy can be getting better. watching 80 to 90% less porn over any given month, great job. Keep coming back. If you return to the behavior and you relapse or return to use, own it quickly. Talk about it. Learn from it. And keep growing.
Yeah.
And so motivating younger men is been a little different, and to create inspiration, because here's the truth. Like, they're so isolated and so disconnected. They have significantly less friends than decades before. Everything is kind of online. Everything is virtual. And so the loneliness is profound.
Well, it's part of existence. It's not like, I think some people, you don't even notice that you're lonely anymore. That's one of the wildest things. You'll spend all day by yourself, but you won't really notice that you're because you have some interactions. You see people, you see them. So there's all this hijacking of things that are real that would normally make you feel like you are not alone. You see people, you hear voices. You know, I mean, you can even engage with people.
Hearing voices is perhaps the best thing.
It's like you can see people on your phone or on your computer. You can do FaceTime. You can. So there's all these like these secondary little pieces, but the connection, the reality.
And remote work certainly doesn't help. I mean, there are guys that just don't leave their home.
Well, yeah, it's like you could basically go to work online. You could get off work, order some food online. Then you could look at pornography or something, go to bed, and that's your day, and that's your existence, and you're just sort of this thing. But there's so much, we're supposed to be so much more than that. I think some of it has become almost just this habit that we don't even know that we're in.
Yeah, I could see that. And
I mean, and I'm not preaching at anybody. I think it's just like, I don't know, just the awareness that you could be in something and not realize it is something kind of wild. You know?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. And
I want to ask you outside of Valor, because you run Valor Recovery. That's your program. And thank you so much. I know there was a lot of guys like who kind of came in through the podcast who you like were trying to help and offer recovery to. So thank you so much for having conversations with those guys over the years.
And by the way, so many of those guys are killing it right now.
Are they?
Yes, they are. And I'm going to say this to you because it needs to be heard. There are so many men that because of your vulnerability on this podcast, talking about your challenges around that, gave them the courage to reach out and ask for help.
Nice.
So your vulnerability is a gift to this world.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's scary to be vulnerable. I don't know. It's not scary. It's like, I don't know. I don't know any other way to live, really. You know?
A thoughtfully crafted blend with Chateauvery, black maca, fenugreek, and more to complement passion, energy, and drive.
Boost your dreams.
I don't think I know any other way to live. I don't know. Sometimes I'm scared too.
Well, I can tell you as it relates to this topic, I can't tell you how many conversations we've had in the thousands where the conversation stops. And you don't say it's okay to talk about this. And I've shared those stories with you over the years.
Yeah, I know you have. I appreciate it.
That's important. Yeah, some important stuff.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to know that a lot of people are hurting, you know? It's tough to know that we're all hurt, you know? It's tough to know that most of the people that I love the most have hurt a lot of us, you know, me included. And we didn't just end up, you know. Yeah, I'm just glad. I've met a lot of good guys through recovery, you know? There wouldn't be a program, you know, if you didn't do it.
That's right. And the great thing about recovery is you can live a life that's superior to the life you were living.
Yeah, that's the truth.
That's the beauty of it. Yeah. And so not easy sometimes to get there, but if you stay the course, you don't give up, you keep leaning into this, you're going to build a life that brings you joy, where you don't need to engage in behavior to numb the pain of it. process.
Yeah. What are some of the triggers that you see that you know is dedicated asking?
Yeah, like, you know, there's just patterns, right? So many men struggle with profound loneliness, they're disconnected, they're alone. And so when you look at these urges, right, there tends to be a predictability to when you're vulnerable to them, right? So late at night scrolling on your phone, dude, leave the phone, don't bring the phone in the bedroom.
Yeah, shut it down.
Simple fix. Well, Steve, I work all week long. Friday nights I'm by myself, and there's just this period of time right now of unstructured time where I'm really vulnerable. Okay, let's make a plan around that. Why don't you book dinner? Why don't you bookend the evening with a friend of yours so you're not alone right now? Make a dinner date with a friend right now. Get out of the house, right? And so there's just these patterns that men experience as it relates to stress, boredom, and loneliness. And so when you pull up and kind of look at this stuff, right, and learn from this stuff, men don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. And so working with people that understand this can go a long way to putting you on the path to being successful.
Amen, man, yeah.
The other thing that's really tricky today is
Even going for a walk with a friend. Just go for a walk. Dude, my best times.
Maybe we'll go for a walk after this, me and you.
Yeah. I'll go for a walk with you.
Yeah,
You got a little time?
Oh, I'll make time.
I'd love it, dude. Yeah, bro. Thank you, bro. Dude, there's nothing better than going for a walk with one of your friends. It might seem like, and even if y'all are straight, y'all can do it.
If you're not straight, you could do it.
But some of that stuff got hijacked by the gay community, I think. Like just going for a walk with your buddy. I'm not saying it did, but it got slightly hijacked.
Just a hint.
Hey, we got to take our pedestrian rights back. But anyway, what were we saying?
We were talking about triggers.
Oh, yeah. So that's one for me. I've noticed things that would lead me to do masturbation or be touching my body sometimes like that, looking at pornography. Stress, right? I'm up later than I need to be. A lot of times I'll have a deal with myself. I'll plan to go to bed. Shit will happen. She'll have work. Next thing you know, I'm up 45 minutes later. I can't handle it, right? But now it's like I gotta go to sleep. I'll think that masturbation will help me go to sleep, right? What else?
Social media.
Yeah, social media. Just I know that keeps me up late. So I do a pretty good job of that. Like I know now when I open up, there's nothing super good in there. You know, I'll maybe say, all right, I'm gonna go for 30 seconds. And you find one thing that's kind of engaging, and I'm shutting it down. I'm starting to realize that what a Pandora's box it is.
It really is. And, you know, the science will support that, like these dopamine spikes from this endless scrolling on social media.
Yeah.
And you look at the sexual content on social media. It may not be full porn, but it can be pretty explicit. Yeah. And so it's a real problem because it's this funnel. And oftentimes guys in early recovery get tripped up because they're on Instagram right now. There's this image which is a link to an OnlyFans account, and all of a sudden they're back there. And so that's really important. That's kind of endless scrolling, endless seeking novelty can be really challenging.
Because in the alternative is you have to think about what that is. And you have to plan for that in your head, I noticed for myself, right? So if I'm not going to be scrolling, I might just be laying there in my bed, right?
And what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it. But at first it can feel a little bit uncomfortable. Oh, I should be doing something. Those are the feelings I go through. I should be doing something, right? And, you know, you're like, well, what would that be? So at first it's a little tough. Now, sometimes my mind will start to just imagine or think of things, which is kind of nice, right? Like if it's